to the cloud. Are you guys excited? With Clint. I feel so grounded. I'm here in Colombia to do Aya. And as Aya would have it, I woke up this morning and I started my Le Luna. And when you're on your Le Luna, you cannot do Aya. You cannot do Aya. I brought 5 people here to do Aya with me. I created this trip, I manifested it, and I cannot do it. And I had to just feel the sorrow I needed to feel for a minute, and then go to gratitude and joy and to see what's coming and surrender. And here is Clint, so I'm going to bring him in. Everybody take a deep breath with me. Welcome this divine angel that is coming in. Hello, love. We are so excited that you are on. I'm just deeply, 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 deeply feeling the gratitude. And we were just chatting about you and how sacred it is that you're on today with us. And I know there's quite a few other girls that are coming in right now and going to keep coming in throughout the class. Some that will be watching later, some that you know, some that you don't know. So welcome. Everyone in this class has your book. Everyone in this class has had their personal experience with the clinic, I believe. Almost everyone, right? Has had it, yeah. And they've heard so much about you. They've received your TED Talk. They've received interviews with Dr. Naram. And they've heard me talk about you with such love and admiration. So thank you so much for coming on. And you asked yesterday about what we should talk about. And I said, whatever comes from the heart. And this morning, as all of this has come up, there was a few things that came to my mind that I felt like was really present for this class. And one is the knowing to doing to be. One is the 1%. And I've talked to them a lot about this. And of course, what do you want? So these are some really big things that I think a lot of the women, as we're going through our journey, that could really help solidify what we're doing. And there's some other things that if it comes into play later, I can direct on. So welcome, and thank you for being here.
Oh, it feels so good to be here. So good to see such beautiful faces. You're saying that everyone here has heard a lot about me. I want to say I've heard a lot about all of you. Sarah talks about you with so much love, so much enthusiasm, and tells me all of your stories, all of your miracle breakthrough stories, and what part you're at, and what's happening, and with just like so much enthusiasm, so much excitement. So I feel like I know you. I do know some of you. I know Reem, and I've had many of you in different places. Jackie came on our Sunday call, did such a fantastic, not only yoga instruction, but taught the stories behind the poses, which was so fun. So good to see you, Mercedes and Kaylee. Did I say Kaylee? Did I say it right? Yeah, good. Liliana. Wow. Even in motion in your car, I see you paused. So you could just be here with us. It's so cool. I don't see the camera, but Jonelle and R. Costello's iPhone.
Rachel. That's Rachel. And sweet
Rachel.
Janelle. Ooh, you've read Janelle's Pulse.
Ah, Janelle, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say it's such a honor to be with such a powerful, dynamic, achieving, wanting to learn group. There's something so special, even as I just was preparing to come on the call and I was meditating and feeling my heart that some really magical thing is happening in your lives. And in this moment that we're together, I fully anticipate that even one idea, one concept, one of the ancient secrets, one of the ancient secrets you'll see in some new way that will impact you and will not only change your life, but it has contagious healing effect where it helps to change the lives of so many other people. I was just telling Sarah about a really beautiful, fantastic woman by the name of Mandy Perry. Anyone know Mandy? I don't know if you guys have met her ever. Anyway, she was in an event where I was speaking, and then I demonstrated some of the ancient secrets, and then she was just she was just like, wow, this is possible and this is happening. And she said, actually, she reminds me in many ways of Sarah and this fuel group, because she grew up poor, actually, in not believing her own worth. You know, she was a waitress for a long time, was a single mother, really struggling to make ends meet. And she felt like she came from a messed up family and so many things happening. And then she had this idea. She says, what if I make so much money that I can help save my family? You know, what if I make so much money that I can rescue them? And so she went on this mission, and in a short period of time started making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then so much money. She had so much resources. And she says, now is the time when I can help my family. And so she was like, first of all, I'm going to rescue my sister. I'm going to pay for her university so she can get out of the cycle that she's in. And crazy thing is, her sister didn't even attend a day. You know, all that money that she thought was going to rescue her sister. No, then her dad had this big health challenge, and she thought, I'm going to pay for all the best care. So my dad, it's not just treating it, but it's helping him get back to optimal health. And he didn't do anything. He didn't utilize it at all. And then her mind was scrambled, and she was feeling so upset. Like, all her efforts, her family still doesn't want to change, feeling so deflated. Anyway, then she actually did this thing that's in the book that many of you have started to do. Actually, it's one of the secrets. It's the recipe for Hmong soup. Who's doing the Hmong detox right now, or some aspect of it? Vita, oh, awesome. Kaylee, super. Sarah, obviously so good. So she started doing this, and I just got this picture. That's why I'm telling you the story. I just got this picture this morning. This is so fun to see this. Actually, can you make me a co-host so I can share this photo? Or maybe I can share already. Yeah, I think you have to make me a co-host.
Just did.
Okay, so then she started doing this whole process. Now, for her, it wasn't a quick fix. She had pain in her body for 10 years, every day, chronic pain for 10 years, 10 years. You know, and she actually saw the Marma I did with JJ Villar. He's a Cirque du Soleil performer. I think Reem has seen that. Have you even met JJ? Reem, I don't know if you've met him. Anyway, so she saw this whole beautiful process happen where JJ had a big transformation where a lot of his pain went away, and then he did the 30-day Hmong challenge, and so many cool things happened. First time and he had all the best medical care. I mean, Cirque du Soleil gave excellent medical care, but the pain, they finally said, we can't do anything else for you. I don't know if we have time to show that video, but it's really powerful, actually. Anyway, if we have time at the end, remind me, and I'll show you this video. But she was in the room when that happened. So then what happened was, it was her time. She actually, before she left, she's like, can you do Marma for me? So I did Marma for her, but the pain came back a couple days later. And so she says, no, I believe in this, so I'm going to do it. So she was doing the Hmong soup, and it took actually 3 weeks. 3 weeks before she had her first pain-free day in 10 years. In fact, she didn't even realize she wasn't having pain until at the end of the day, she's like, wait, something was different. Something was different about today. What is it? And then she realized she didn't have any pain. And then it went for 2 days, and a week, then 2 weeks, then 3 weeks. Now she has a totally different experience of life without pain. Not only that, she is a coach of coaches as well, a health coach. She was sharing her journey online. And sometimes she would share like the gory details. Like after day 10, the first week was horrible for her, you know. And when she was sharing all the details, I was like, oh no, no one's gonna do this thing. Because she's talking about like all the, you know, when you have an addiction and you try and let go of it. In fact, right now I have a situation where I lost I would say I lost, but it was stolen. My phone was stolen. I didn't really realize how much of an addiction I had to my phone until now. I'm like reaching for it. First thing I wake up, my phone's not there. You know, I'm like, whoa, I have an addiction. I have a dependence on my phone. What am I doing? I was just on a call with a friend, and she's like, yeah, it was like, that was your primary relationship. That was the last thing you saw before you went to sleep. First thing when you wake up, you press a button, she entertains you. You actually were married to your phone. Anyway, so now without my phone, I'm realizing, whoa, overcoming this addiction. So Mandy said the first week of her Hmong soup was tough. She was having crazy dreams, really wild dreams happening, and some red spots came on her skin, and she's getting headaches, and so many things were happening. And she's like, but she just kept with it. She says, no, this is the process. Anyway, so cool. This is like a side thing about the story, but contagious healing, when you heal yourself, when you help yourself, it helps all those around you and people you would never expect. Now, one of the people that I never expected would ever do Hmong Soup Detox is my little brother, John. He graduated from Harvard Law School. Now, I thought I was a skeptic. The subtitle of the book, A Western Skeptic, An Eastern Master, Life's Greatest Secrets. He is like an analytical genius and more of a skeptic than me, but he saw two things. He saw my mom walking without pain in her knees. He saw her before going up and down the stairs, so much pain. And then she didn't have pain. He was at her house and she's like, no pain. And he was having pain in his knees and his ankles. But the second thing, he saw one of the posts from Mandy where she's talking about the horrible things happening in her body as a result of the Hmong detox. Somehow that convinced him. It didn't convince him that I'm his brother, that I'm sharing all these stories. It didn't convince him even when he saw my mom, but he saw Mandy's post that I was cringing and thinking this is a bad idea for her to post this. But he's like, I can handle that, and it's so weird. We can't really plan stuff, especially with our own family, their own healing journey. All we can do is we show up with love. I think you probably saw the first quote in the book. I didn't come to teach you. I came to love you, and love will teach you. And in this particular case, my little brother's heart opened up. And he also says that my other brother, Gerald, could only do the Hmong Detox Challenge for 7 days. He's like, I can beat him. So he decided to do it for 10 days. Anyway, I'll tell you more about him in a little bit. But I just want to welcome the other people coming on the call. Crystal, welcome. Gabrielle, welcome. Alexa, welcome. So good. And then Beata, I welcome you so much. I know you have such a powerful, awesome, amazing story. So cool. So I just want to say, Mandy continued with it. Not only she changed her life, but remember before I talked about all the money couldn't solve her family's problems? When they saw her change is when they started being interested in changing. Until then, they weren't interested. They didn't want someone to teach them. They didn't want someone to fix them. They didn't want someone to save them. But they saw how happy she was, that her pain was gone. And I got to show you this. I just got this morning. It's so fun. This is her before and after picture. So fun. I don't know if you can see this properly. Is this visible on the screen? So she just feels so good in her body. This is Mandy before with her cute, amazing daughter. And afterwards, she just feels so good in her body. And this is one of the people that saw her post as well, that made a big transformation. Her pain in her body went away. This is Janet. Oh man, she's so cool. She's lost 70 pounds.
It's warning. They said the subtitle is warning you may get sexy.
Oh yeah. We need to put that warning. We got to put that clear warning on the book here. Warning: if you follow the ancient secrets, you may be very sexy. This is amazing. This story is so cool. Denise, this is her before and after picture. She's someone else that her husband wasn't interested in doing anything, changing at all. But when he saw her change, he's like, I'm going to change. Now you can see how both of them have transformed. Now, I'm going to just bookmark this because I want to share this story. If I don't have time to share a lot, I want to share her story. This is Mike Smith, one of my friends that was not interested at all until his brother passed away at age just over 46, I think he was. He had 6 kids and died of a heart attack, even though he was a professional and athlete, like a national skiing champion. Never thought he'd have a problem. And then one day he was just mountain biking with his son and died. And that made Mike go in, get his blood test. This is his before and after picture. He says it's so funny because now Facebook doesn't recognize his face. Facebook says, are you? And it says, is he his brother or is he me? For some reason, now he looks like me, I guess. I don't know.
So funny. And
this is Nick, another amazing story. His before and after. This is just recently. so recently. So anyway, that's so fun to see some of the pictures. You all have your own stories. I've been talking a lot, but the main thing about I just want to say about Mandy is all of you have people you love. You have people you love, and that's partly why you've chosen to be in the Fuel program. Yeah, you're doing it for yourself, but also as you're changing your life, as you're becoming, walking into the space of abundance, of happiness, of helping resolve whatever are those traumas, of being healthier, you're changing so many people's lives. I call this a love story because it was love from my father that really pushed me beyond what I thought was possible into this world. Now I see these healing miracles happen all the time. So fun to see Reem, um, multiple places, multiple clinics. First of all, in Sacramento, and then in Utah, and then again. And I just think, the journey of healing has so many layers and so many levels. That last picture I showed you of Nick, he hadn't walked in 3 years. He was about to go for major back surgery. His mom picked him up from the hospital, drove her from Seattle to my clinic. He was so depressed, he didn't want to live anymore, actually. He'd just broken up with his wife, his kids, all kinds of difficulties and challenges. And it took a while. Instantly after the marma, he was able to use his leg. And then within 2 days, he was running around the house. He was so excited to go back to his wife and his children and tell them about this miracle that happened. He went to his doctor. His doctor says, you don't need surgery anymore. Did all the x-rays, everything. He says, come back in 3 months, but if you don't feel bad, don't come. Anyway, he still had some pain in his body. He was doing the Hmong detox. I met him. It was after 3 weeks of the Hmong. He still had pain in his body. I said, you got to start taking some of the herbs too. So he started taking some of the herbs and all the physical pain went away from him. Now he went to his family and he said, look at this miracle. And they did not care. And that broke his heart, and it triggered so many other wounds, deep wounds. He started remembering trauma from when he was a kid, things that happened, abuse that he had blocked out of his consciousness that happened when he was a kid. And all of a sudden, all the emotional struggle came. And then there was a different layer of healing. So even when physical pain is gone, even when your body looks great, sometimes there's those emotional things that need to come up. And so I know that's happened for a lot of people. The journey of healing is not a quick fix. If you want a quick fix, this is probably not probably not for you. But if you want healing yourself deeper and deeper, which you're doing, and I'm so proud of you, I'm so excited about it. I'm just so excited. Even every time Nick would tell me about the new problem that came up, I would just get so excited because I'm like, wow, you're finally ready for this. You're finally ready. Your mind, your emotions, your body, your soul is ready. This is the moment. Let's walk through this. Take a deep breath, buckle your seatbelt. But here we are, hand in hand, and we can make it through this. So I just wanted to speak that as well when I see all of you on this call. There's many layers, many, many layers. And you're facing it, and being in the Fuel program gives you such an advantage because you get to have connection with not only amazing people like Sarah who will walk with you hand in hand, but also with each other. And you get inspired by each other and you can reach out anytime you need help. Anytime there's a difficulty, you have a community, a family of choice, a tribe by which you can, support each other. And it's just one of the most valuable things on planet Earth. And with it, you can do anything. Take more risks, take more chances, be more bold. I just think that's possible for you. So I just want to again say how fun it is to see everyone on this call. I'm just looking at your faces and just feeling. I have you on gallery view so I can see everyone at the same time, and I just love it. I love seeing your faces. Alexa, so good to have you here. Oh man, so beautiful. So how can I be of best service to you? There's a lot of stories I could share. There's a lot of miracles happening right now, but I'd like to hear, where are you at in your journey? And what's on your heart? What is it that you want? How
So
can I
I'd
best
love
serve
to
you in the 10
add.
minutes that I have left with you?
No, 10 minutes. Yes, we have 10 minutes left. I want, before everyone shares, because we only have 10 minutes left, I want to make sure we get in there the what do you want essence, like that behind that. Like we hear about it in the book, I talk about it, but there's something really special when you say it that reminds us really where our direction and energy should be. And Crystal does want to share for a minute. I know she's a student in the class, so she probably has a lot. I know she's had a lot of transformation, and Beats has already had a lot of transformation. And Jackie
Yeah.
has had a lot of transformation. Jackie's actually done and completed the 30-day Hmong with me, and we went through some experiences together. She was my solid in that. So a lot of magic has already transpired in this group and healing from this book, from the Hmong. And yeah, okay.
We should have one of the Sunday calls just with all of you, and you can all share your stories and experiences. It'd be so fun. I just want to honor everyone who's taken. You benefit if you take one step, you benefit that much. You take 10 steps, you benefit that much. You go a mile, you benefit that much. One thing I love about Sarah is she lives what she speaks. You know, even as she's traveling in Colombia, she has her own Hmong soup there. You know, she's soaking the beans and getting it and really like stepping into it. Some difficult thing comes up and she's, you know, understanding that, oh, life is happening for her, not to her. You know, Aditi Devo Bhava. There's that concept in the book. You treat the unexpected guest as if God himself or herself has arrived, and that's happening every day. Something unexpected happened. And how is that happening for you? What is the God or goddess in that unexpected guest, whether it's an emotion or a feeling? And then how you can get to the place where you're co-creating with life is by getting clear on what do you want. You know, in the book, Dr. Am talks about 95% of people don't know what they want. They just don't know. Window shopping. You know, they say they try this husband and then that husband. You know, they try this job and then that job. Just window shopping, and that's okay, no problem. But he says 3% of people, they actually discover what they want, but they never achieve it. They don't have the right tools, support. They don't have fuel, the fuel community, you know. So you guys have such an advantage because not only you can discover what you want, but you have the tools, the support, mental, emotional, and actual practical tools where you can accomplish it. He says 1% of people, they know what they want and achieve it, but they don't enjoy it because in the process, they were toxic success. You know, so many people, there's this quote that they spend all of their health trying to make money, and then afterwards they spend all their money trying to get their health back. You know, it's like a vicious cycle. That's toxic success, you know, or you succeed, but at the expense of the planet or expense of your relationships of those you love the most. You know, I with Dr. John met so many billionaires and Hollywood stars and Bollywood stars, and man, you'd be surprised. The whole world worships them and their kids hate them. Their grandkids treat them like, I was about to swear, you know, and so it doesn't feel good. The whole world loves you, but you know it's toxic, you know. So how do you get long-term, predictable, non-toxic super success? And that was one of the things actually it's coming out in book 2 and part of the additional courses that we're creating is those secrets that Dr. Ram taught about non-toxic success. But I think one of the most powerful things you're doing is here in the Fuel program by having really this resource to these beautiful people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Crystal, I don't want to hear from you. Tell me, what's your experience been?
Well, right now I'm on hi. So sweet and surprising to see you. I didn't know you were coming on to the call today. So thank you so much for being here. Such a beautiful face, beautiful smile. And every time you smile, it just lifts me up. So thank you so much. I'm on the day 4 of the Healthy Me Detox. And so I'm going through some stuff. And last night I felt really bad because I had an emotional thing come up and with my partner, and I've been doing really good. And then I made my family their dinner. You know, they wanted pizza, so I made homemade pizza with organic everything, but still it was so hard. And I didn't eat it at dinner. I had my vegetable soup, and they smelled my vegetable soup, and they actually wanted some of the vegetable soup, and it was really. And then after dinner, there was emotional disrupt, and then I grabbed some of the damn pizza, and I sat in my sauna and I ate it. I ate like a couple pieces, and then I started feeling horrible. I was like, am I ever like? Because I want more than anything, I want my health. I want to not have asthma. I want to be able to run. Whenever I think about what I want, I want to be able to run and not worry about having my inhaler and not being scared of not being able to breathe and having my children see me and worry about me because I'm out of breath. Or I want to be able to speak in public and be able to breathe. And I teach pranayama, I teach meditation, I teach yoga, and I'm still having, asthma. And so I want to do this. I really truly do. And I noticed some things come up for me. But this morning I woke up and I said, okay, it's a new day, and I'm going to do this. And so I feel like it's that thing, that we have to do for our whole entire life. It's not just doing things perfect. It's about really every moment deciding, okay, yeah, that was yesterday, that was last moment, and now this is a new moment, and I'm going to do this because this is really what I want.
Mm.
And Dr. Naram has given me a lot of faith through your book, being able to read that book over and over. And when I have those moments of logical interplay that say, oh, this is just fennel and ginger and cardamom, and like, how is this going to cure me from this something that's been a monster in my life, But when I read the book, and when I hear that, when I join the miracle calls, and when I'm doing the coursework, I'm thinking, you know what? This is working. This stuff is real. This is really powerful. And I believe in the lineage, and I picked up on Dr. Naram's energy, and he's come to me in a dream, and I saw things that I can't even explain. And I've tried to write it to you. I've tried to write it out, but it doesn't actually do justice for what I actually experienced in the dream. And him coming to me in the dream, him doing marma points on my back, that was real to me. And yeah, there's magic in it. There's mystery in it, and that's life. And so I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling like this is gonna be powerful. And one of the hard parts for me too right now is like, how do I share this because I'm sharing it with almost everyone right now, and it just comes out of me. Like, I cannot stop it. Because I want people to be, I want them to know that there's another way. And I keep running into people left and right that says, my daughter's in the hospital right now, or I just got sick, or I'm dealing with this, and And I'm like, let's sit down. What do you really want? What do you really want? And then I do the marma points with them, and, I share your book with them. And then I have to be unattached at the same time. I have to let them experience what they need to experience and let it all unfold. And I trust in that. And I'm ready for your second book, Clint.
We're all ready for the second book.
Yeah.
And he has an audio out now, so you guys can actually purchase and listen to the story.
Thank you. And I'm probably done talking now because I want other people to be on the call. And I just wanted to share my process, my experience, my gratitude, and my love. And so, Sarah, thank you so much as well. You're an amazing shining light, and you're doing so much work right now. And Clint, I'm so glad that you guys are pairing up on this path. I can't wait to be with you both in person sometime.
Yeah, well, first, I just want to say thank you for your authenticity. It says not only a lot about you, but also about this Fuel group, that you can share honestly what your journey is and be gentle on yourself. It takes what it takes. It takes I was a skeptic. It took me a lot longer, actually. And I'm amazed Dr. had the patience, because I even would see the results and still I would choose differently. For a long time, it just takes it. So you want to be gentle with wherever you are. Lots of times when people on the Sunday calls hear all the miracles happen, they're like, but I'm here. Well, good, be there, be where you are. Your soul wants that experience. And once you get clear on what you want, maybe then you can have a different choice. The second thing is mentioning pizza. I think you guys who've read that section of the book know Dr. Ram loves pizza. I'm sure he'd have a soft spot towards that. Every time we're in Italy, he'd take us to the best pizza place. I just remember the shock of, wait a minute, Dr. Ram, this is wheat, it's tomato, it's cheese. It's like, and he's like, yeah, but this is food for my emotions. I'm like, well, what? You just were at the clinic telling everyone not to eat this stuff, and now we're chomping it down here. He's like, yeah, but I never tell people don't ever do something. If you do that, then you become emotionally dry. He says, but how do you enjoy things in a way that doesn't harm your body? So I have pizza once a year, and 2 days before I only eat mung, 2 days after I only eat mung. I have certain herbs that clear out my system. So never be hard on yourself for those things. Now, when you're in a detox process, it's also interesting to observe those cravings. My little brother, John, that I talked about, the Harvard Law School graduate, he said it took 10 days of mung soup before his cravings went away. And then for the first time in his life, he says he could trust his body. He's like, it sounds strange, but I have a better relationship with my body now than I ever have, He's like, I have a good relationship with my body. So it takes whatever time it takes, and whatever steps you take, you didn't lose anything, and then you can start again. You can start and you can do as far as you want to this time. you know
Mm. Mm.
and congratulations for starting the process,
Mm.
and for being so authentic, so beautiful, and for having that connection with
Mm.
Dr. Nam, with yourself, with source. A
Mm.
couple of you are coming to Nepal, and you're all welcome to come to Nepal as well if there's space. And so I'm just excited that, those who, always feel like those who are attracted to this, there's some reason for it beyond me. I'm a midwife, like a postman, but there's some connection your soul already has. And so I just have the gift of watching the miracles unfold and then appreciating and celebrating them with you. So it's beautiful, and you're mid process, and the biggest way that you can help people is through your helping yourself. Then they'll start asking you questions, and I have that same passion. How can more people know this is possible? I just want them to know it's an option. They can choose it if they want. I just want them to know it's a choice. And the more that you change your life, the more they'll just be asking you.
Mm.
Yeah, great. And
So
that
many
question, what do you want, is very powerful. Anyone on this call, if you ever notice you're getting frustrated, upset, anxious, irritated, sad, depressed, just take a step back and be curious. Oh, what am I focusing on? Most of the time, you're focused on what you don't want. You just are. And that's why you're irritated, upset, anxious, sad, confused. And then you say, okay, what do I want? In fact, on the 100-day course that Crystal's a part of right now, there's this beautiful couple that's participating. I gave everyone the challenge to really understand without trying to solve anyone's problem, just to say, and so they, it was beautiful because the wife got on the call the next day, is like, I don't know what you did to my husband. She's like, but I love him more than I've ever loved him in my life. And all he did was he just started asking, what do you want? And listening, not to solve any problems, but just to really understand her. And they've been married for, I don't know, 10, 20 years, something like that. But all of a sudden they had this real deep connection. And actually I've seen couples that are in arguments and fights with each other. And then one of them pauses and they say, okay, what do you want? Because the argument is based almost all the time on what you don't want. Everyone's focused on what they don't want. That's where the argument is. They're fighting about what they don't want. So then you just say, what do you want? And then you listen, not to correct, not to solve. You don't even have to agree. You just have to understand. That's the thing. Sometimes if you listen and you really understand someone, you're afraid maybe they'll think I'm agreeing. No, you don't have to agree. Just say, can I see if I understand you? And then you understand them. Greatest gift you can ever give anyone is just ask them, what do you want? And listen and just really understand them.
Mm. It says that in the book. What people want really is to be understood most.
Yeah.
Mm. And what is the what do you want point? Can you show us the
Yeah,
mark?
so on the TEDx talk, if you ever want additional help, on your right hand, this index finger, just close your eyes. You press 6 times. Say, what do I want? What do I want? And you write it down. Some people are visual. You'll see something. Some people are auditory. You'll hear something. Some people will feel something. Then you just start a journal. Dr. Jerome always had a journal with him. You just take notes. Take notes of whatever ideas come. Don't say it's right, wrong, possible, not possible. My family would like this. My family wouldn't like this. You just allow yourself in your own innocence, your own soul to express. And it can change over time, but you just start with, even my sister, she read the book and loved it. But it wasn't until she listened to the audiobook that she had this breakthrough insight. She's like, oh, I was making it my want, like it had to be some global, what my soul wants for my entire life. She's like, now I realize I can just say, what do I want from this day? What do I want from now? And so you just start with that. What do you want from today? What experience you want today? And that's a really good place to start. And if you start with that intention in the day, it changes the entire day. And then some of the other secrets too. Everyone who's in this fuel program, I just want to give you a gift. It's actually $97 when people register for it. It's the next miracle experiment game. It's when you actually live 3 of the principles. They're the more the philosophical ones, the ones that you live in your life. You just live 3 of them and you see what kind of mystical miracles happen in your life. And I'll make sure I send it to Sarah and she can send it out. There's a code you put in that will just make it so it's a free gift. And I don't know, maybe we'll start in like 2 or 3 months. I need some time, so I'm writing the second book, but As soon as we start that game, I would love your presence. I want to be with you guys. I'm jealous you guys get to be with each other all the time. So I want to be exposed more to you. So I want you to come and play this game, this mystical game, and see what cool miracles happen. And yeah, just it's awesome. I don't have any words to express financial miracles. One guy hadn't talked to his son in 10 years. They've reconnected. Now they're best friends again. One boy, he hadn't talked to his mom in like 11 years. They reconnected. People have like crazy things happen. And it's beautiful and it's so powerful, so healing. And I feel like Dr. Ram and all the masters are very much a part of that game, like doing things in your life that's really fun when you opt into that experience. So I'll give that to Sarah, make sure everyone has access. I can stay on just a little bit longer. I just want to hear anyone else have any questions or anything in your heart, anything you want to share. I wish I could hear from every one of you. Just so beautiful being with you. I just love it. I love looking in your eyes and seeing your faces and just feeling your presence. It's so lovely.
I want to thank you so much for gifting that to them, because I've been a part of that miracle experiment. I think Reem's been a part of the miracle experiment, and I'm pretty sure that every single call I cry. So being a part of that and having everyone be able to be a part of that together is a really big gift. Thank you. Does anyone have a burning desire of something they want to share? I know Beata's story is new and very profound and has left me in the last class in tears. On Rachel, we get to see your face. Ah, thank you.
Rachel, yes.
Anyone want to share anything while we have them on? And if not, we do have the video. This will leave you in tears as well with the Circus Olay performer. And I do have the thought that came to me. When we understand this medicine a little bit more, we are able to take it in. And you described how Marma works in such a beautiful way. And I don't know if that is something that you feel called to maybe share, how Marma works. You're muted.
Oh, I was muted, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to send you this link and you play it from your computer?
You bet. Yeah, I can just do that. Yeah, that way you can, when it's time, when you're done, you get off.
Yeah, I have another commitment that I want to make sure I honor. But I'll just say this, Marma is an ancient technology of transformation, works on subtle levels. And if you've read the book or you've seen any of the videos or joined any of the calls, basically it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but in the room, if I touch the room, so many places, nothing happens. But you touch the little light switch, so gentle, and all the lights come on or go off. And same thing happens with Marma, these masters for thousands of years. So, Dr. Naram had a master who lived to be 125, had a master who lived to be 145, master. The original master was Jivaka. And so a lot of you have seen the picture in the book of Jivaka, who was the physician for Buddha. So these great masters understood the subtle energy points in the body that can help rebalance. So most of us, when there's a problem, there's something out of balance or there's a block, some toxin or block in us, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And so Marma helps realign things so the block is removed and things get rebalanced. Now, let's say you go to the mechanic. If you fix a hose that's busted, but you're still putting the wrong fuel in the car, it's still going to break down, So that's why I love this, the name of this, it's called Fuel. It's a great name for a group of powerful women that are making change in their lives and on this planet, because you want the right fuel. You want the right fuel, physical fuel. And Dr. Am made this also important point. It's not just what you feed here, but it's what you feed here that makes a difference physically, mentally, emotionally. And so you guys are just feasting on the best kind of fuel. And I'll put this in the chat, and that way, Sarah, you can play it. But this is just an example of when you change your food, you change your future, and not just your food here, but your food here. This is someone who was very, very accomplished, at the height of his profession, and then had something devastating occur. And then you'll hear and you'll see some of the journey that happened. And then it's not in this video, but since then, so much has happened. He felt nervous to fall in love again because he was in so much pain. Didn't think he could provide, didn't even know if he was going to survive. After this experience, it was only about a couple A couple weeks later, he proposed to his girlfriend. Now they're married. They're one of the cutest couples ever. Their wedding video was awesome. So, you never know what will happen that will spark that deep love, that expression of love that wants to come through you. So I give you that link. I love you. I'm with you. I can't wait to see and hear more of your transformational journey and stories. Anyone wants to join us in Nepal, I think we maybe have like one or two, maybe it's 2 slots left, something like that. Otherwise, I want to see you. So join the Miracle Experiment game as my gift. And yeah, if there's any way I can be of service to you or help you in any way, then I really, really respect and honor Sarah. I'm so grateful for who she is and how she's showing up in the world and on this planet. And I just want to say thank you to her. I love Reem, her radio show. I don't know if you get a chance to listen to it, Dream with Reem, but so awesome. And I'm sure each of you have your own things that you're doing that I just don't give up on that dream, Don't give up on that part of you. Live that fully, express. We have so much room in this life to dare, to take risks, and we're safe and we're protected, And Dr. Ram, he said this most important thing I'll leave you with. There is no such thing as failure. There's only feedback. And maybe you've heard this before from different people, but it really impacted me when he said that. There's no such thing as failure. It's only feedback. So keep doing what you're doing. I love you and I'm with you. And
everyone rub your hands together.
Yeah.
We're going to blast Clint.
Oh, yes.
Run away with such love and gratitude for everything you've brought us and continue to bring.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so fulfilled. Everyone stay on with me as he goes. We love you so much, Clint. We're so, so grateful for you.
Love you and I'm with you.
God bless.
I have watched the miracles with my own eyes and everything that's already occurred since I've gotten to Colombia and with this ancient practice. And something I didn't mention on the call is that I use this for money. When I took the class that Crystal's in right now, my intention and attention was on making more money. What he did not give you is something I think you guys have all learned before, but Reem, where is the what do you want point when you press it when you want something? The other one. Glad you guys remember. This is to discover what you want. You do this and see what comes up. Now let's say you know what you want. Do you remember, Reem, what that point is? It's here. So I want everyone to take their fingers like this, and then I want you to flip it. Okay, and exactly where that lands in the center, mine happens to be where I have a scar. So again, right hand up in the air, left hand pressed at the base of the palm of the hand, and then, so right at the end, yep, and then you flip it exactly over, and where that last finger ends.
7 fingers.
Yep, 7 fingers. So you go 1, and that ends up being 7 fingers. So you just flip, And right where that ends, right in the middle, that's that point, and you probably feel like a little bit of a tingle if you got it right. You'll start noticing the more you do this. Now you know what you want. You press those fingers, you have an idea of what you want. When it can be small, it can be big. Press this 6 times. Everybody do it with me. Close your eyes. Think about what you want. And I want you to press it 6 times, visualizing what you want. I want you to do that 6 times a day, minimum, 6 times a day. You're turning the light switch on in the energetics. Again, this is training your subconscious mind, not just your mind. You're actually attuning to the frequency of that manifestation, that direct match. It's very important you're turning the antenna on. So as we close the call, if there's any questions, anything you guys want to share, there is the YouTube video, but I'm feeling called that I should just send it to you guys in the Fuel group privately so you guys can watch it on your own. I'm sensing, because we've already lost a lot of the class, they had to go. So I'm going to send you that magical miracle video about the Circus Olay performer that left me in tears. Anybody have any questions? Oh, homework. Class. Reem, you don't have this homework, but you can join the homework. Cleanse is this week. Everyone who is not already doing the mung bean cleanse, you are buying the ingredients for the mung bean cleanse. And our beloved Jackie, who is on the call, and actually Reem, who is on the call, you just got suckered into this, Reem. Are graduates of this cleanse. So they are here to help support us in the cleanse. Okay, so you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Reem, and you can reach out to Jackie, all about the cleanse. So you guys, the ingredients are in Fuel. If you don't already have them, they're under the Dr. Naram tab in the bonus section. You're gonna order your ingredients this week, and we're gonna start the cleanse together, at least a 7-day cleanse next week. And remember that this isn't just about pain. If you're thinking, oh, I don't have pain. This isn't just about emotion. If you're thinking, oh, I don't have any mental issues, but I think we all do. We all just don't even realize how much we're living in anxiety or fear, because anxiety and fear basically completely eliminated from my existence when I finished this cleanse. But this is also in the energetics of what do you want? When the Hmong comes in your body, it's plant medicine, and it's attuning you to what you want. Specifically, this Hmong in the herbs that are connected to it, and this recipe is so ancient, has so much wisdom. It is alive. It is alive, and it's coming in your body to attune you to what you want. So if you have questions about it, if you cannot find it, also Kaylee is doing it. She's already been doing it, so you have her as well. Crystal says, Sarah, do you have time to talk after class quickly? Yes, I do. I will stay on. So just stay on with me and everyone else. If you want to stay on, you can stay on. Crystal, do you want that private or group?
Oh, I don't care.
Okay, great. So if anybody wants to stay on for the chat that's happening, you can stay on for the chat that's happening. If you guys have questions about homework, it's there. I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting, and thank you, Reem and Jackie, for supporting the Hmong bean. And then there's even Kaylee, who is now on her 2nd dose of it.
When are you guys starting the Hmong?
I want everyone to start by next Tuesday. So very good question. So you have from now until Tuesday to buy all the ingredients and internally start to prep yourself. And I'm only asking that you do 7 days, and I'm not asking you that you fast, because the next time you do it, you'll fast the first 24 hours and you will do it for 30 days.
So question,
Mm-hmm.
our area does not have all these ingredients. So Sadie and I are gonna order like in bulk. How much does 7 days go for? Like, how much do I have to make?
I buy a lot of bean.
Oh,
And
so
I
maybe
buy,
we don't have to split it.
what's that?
Maybe we don't have to split it.
I mean, if you're doing a whole month, you know, like, I don't know. I love it so much. I'm on almost my 3rd month. Like, I have a pot
Okay.
behind me. So, you know, it'll last forever in your cupboard what you don't have cooked, but you're eating it breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snack. So it'll go by a lot quicker than you think.
Okay.
You can order everything off of Amazon, and you will only make sure you guys keep this in your fridge 1 day at max. You want to make a big batch. You're going to freeze it if you choose, or you can eat it every day.
Okay. Okay.
Make big batches, put it in your freezer, thaw it out each day that you need to thaw it out. And typically, sometimes I go 2 days with Hmong. I cheat. But what happens is it's called ama. And anytime you guys eat food past 2 days, technically really 1, they say in the Siddha Veda, it builds ama, like bacteria and growth and toxicity in it. So you could be the cleanest, healthiest eater in the world, Sarah and Jackie. And Sarah and Jackie were eating old food, playing pizza. She's not anymore. We were really guilty of this. And it's building up a lot of ama in your body and toxins, and we didn't know it. So with it, it's very important. I also prefer the yellow mung bean.
Yes.
Yeah. I just like the taste of the yellow mung bean more. It says green, but you don't have to do that. You can do the yellow mung bean.
And parboiling too was a big one for me, especially if you did parboiling, especially if you did the green ones. So I would boil it for 20 minutes and then drain that water, and then I would make the mung bean soup.
I soak mine overnight, and then
all of that.
Yeah. And then I put it in a pot on simmer low for hours, just because that's what I like to do. Some people will put it in a fast quick pot thing.
What are they called? Pressure cooker.
Yes.
Oh,
That doesn't feel in alignment with me. Pressure cookers don't feel in line with me, probably because I went to school for nutrition, and my understanding is when you heat things up too fast, too hot, which they say is okay. Some people do it, but I understand that it devalues the nutrition. I'm not saying that's relevant here. It just doesn't feel in line with me. I like to hush podge. I don't even follow a recipe, guys. Like, I just shove everything, as Reem knows, as Jackie knows. Not always the best tasting, but I love what it does for my body. So I just shove everything in a pot. I let it simmer. And then as you eat it, or each time you warm up that next day, we add fresh seasoning into it and make sure a lot of ghee.
Yeah.
A lot of ghee is really good in it. And you can add the rice or the quinoa in it. But you guys want to make sure never to have fruit with your foods. You can have vegetables in the do's and don't list. So go in the do list of the Dr. Ram tab, and it'll tell you all the vegetables that are okay. Some of you might be having tomatoes right now. Some of you might be in potatoes or peppers. Those are not in alignment with your body. You may like them, they don't like you. Yes, they will cause inflammation. Meat will cause anxiety and fear and inflammation. So these things that we think, like yogurt or kombucha, that we think are healthy are actually not. So you really want to follow during this week the do list. Reem, anything? I feel like there's something more you have to share about this in your experience. Can you?
It's more about especially when you're making the mung, is like the first time you make it, it might not be what you want, but this is where you're going to practice. And like she said, every time you warm it up, add more seasoning to it, add more veggies. Of the list of the stuff that you can and that you can eat, just do more of the stuff that you like, and do less of the stuff you don't like. It's really about, because you're doing something new and it's very different probably to most people, that it's still about making it taste good so that you want to eat it. Because like with me, I didn't want to fucking eat this stuff, like and I will tell you, like, I would hear the calls and people are like, this stuff is so good, and I'm like, and I like to cook, and if you know Sarah, like, I'm a good chef. I was like beating myself up. I was like, why does my mung taste like crap? And with little tips and tricks, that's where you're gonna like make it your own, but really go with what you know you like. And like she said, don't really follow the recipe as a guideline, but you really need to make it what you want to eat. Otherwise, you're not going to eat it. You're going to make this mung and you're just going to throw it in the garbage, which is going to make you feel like worse because now you're wasting food. So like really make it for you, and use the recipe as a baseline of what to accomplish, but make it yours.
Make sure you are using all the ingredients, so do not cheat out of that, because each and every single ingredient was specifically chosen by ancient masters to heal the body. Yes. So some of them there are to lower the bloating. Like people are like, oh, I don't like the cucumber or whatever. Like I love eating everything on it now. My body utterly, this is all I want. Like it's all I want. I don't need to do it anymore. It's all I want. So you get so attuned to it, used to it. But do not miss the ingredients, and be prepared that you might get a little bit of a bloating feeling if you're doing this truly. Like a lot of us experience this. And it's because the beans are grabbing a hold of the toxins, and then whoosh, on one of these days, like day 10 of it, I just like everybody got skinny. Like, whoa, like all it went out. Kaylee. And then also Rachel, I'll answer your question first, actually, before Kaylee, you talk. Rachel asked, can you cook the veggies with the mung or should you do it separately? So here's the thing. When you keep reheating, you are diminishing value of nutrition when you're freezing, when you're heating it. So yes, add some vegetables right at the very end of the mung. Don't let it sit there and cook for the hours that you're cooking the mung, because you're going to lose the nutritional value. So right at the end, and then keep adding more vegetables as you keep reheating it up, because the nutritional value is going to be there. Kaylee,
I'll saute new veggies and add it to the frozen mung as I reheat it. So it's fresh veggies with frozen mung, well, warmed up mung. But
Kaylee?
So I was planning on doing the 30 days, but so I didn't do the fast because I've already started. Is that okay? Like, can I still continue with this? And do I have to eat it? Like, is it just once a day? Does it matter when? Or
So here would be I'd let you sink into this. There's two options. Number one is it's not too late for you to start to do a fast tomorrow. And then just keep going back on the mung. There's no too late. You guys can live off this mung for the rest of your life and be the happiest, healthiest thing ever. So what happens when you guys choose to do the fast in the beginning? And if you guys are interested in doing the 30-day and doing the fast, there's one of two options. One is you can get the calendar that they gave to me, and I will happily share that with you. And I'm going to share that with you, Kaylee. Or two, you call that clinic call and they will give you one that's paired specifically for your symptoms and exactly how to do it. Because Jackie and I received two different to do. Yeah. So because our vata dosha issues, ailments were different, like she got to, one day she had to, like, the day of poop, they made her eat like 10 of these pills every single day. They didn't do that with me. Thank God I didn't follow hers. So, it really is. So you could keep eating the mung and maybe call the clinic and say, okay, I'm ready. I want to do it. And then when they get it to you, you can choose to do the fast. So what happens on the day of the fast is it's like the major sweep. When your body goes into a fast, it starts eliminating and detoxing and resetting on its own. It's really helpful. And then when you're doing the fast, you're going to drink specific herbs that are like little scrubbers, and they go inside and start scrubbing and getting the ama prepared to come out. So it is really a powerful, potent practice. It's also taming the beast. So everybody, you're going to have a beast in your body. And that's what a lot of us are, we like day 10, like Jackie and I got in 2 scuffles during our 30 days over chocolate. Like it's just some really intense moments where we're like, ah, I want my chocolate. At least that was for me. I wanted my chocolate. But this is what we call the beast. And maybe Jackie, you can add to this, but be prepared for the beast to come up. When you tame the beast, you're taming everything in your life. Food is a trigger for us all. And if you can tame this, you can tame everything. And that's in my opinion. If you can really calm that and be still and do the fast, know that when you're riding in this wave and your power and you're rooting, it'll kind of go like this. So if it gets really intense, just hang out, because it'll go back down again. Jackie, can you add to that? Because I feel like you have something you're supposed to say.
Let's see, about taming the beast.
Taming the beast, the fast, and this mung. And Jackie's going to be doing this for a living. I feel like, Reem, this is part of your future. I don't know if you've heard about what Jackie's putting into preparation. She's actually going to do this for wealthy people for like $2,000 a month. She goes in and cooks their mung, because a lot of us need a Jackie.
I guess you and I had pretty similar experiences. We got a little bit emotional there. What else did we experience?
Jackie was really good about being, okay, like analytical. All right, we understand this is what is happening now, because you'll get emotional. Maybe
yeah,
like
and you never know like what symptom might come up. Like I had a really bad headache one day, and I was a little frustrated about it because I was like, oh, I'm doing this to stop the migraines. But then just was like, well, I'm in the middle of detox, so chances are stuff is going to come up. So stuff comes up, but by the end, I was having kind of like this pre-arthritis pain in my hand and was worried about being able to give massages, and that's gone.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
Yeah.
So I started my moon today, guys, as you all know, which is this whole Aya thing. I didn't have any symptoms. Girls, I had the worst PMS. I was a PMS girl. I used to eat everybody's heads off, so much bloating. I just did a whole live, Vicky talking about my acne with hormones, and I bloat in the moon, and I get headaches every month, and no symptoms because of Siddha Veda. No symptoms. So just focus on the results. That's what I'm saying. Like you might have all these things come up. You might have all these things like, oh my gosh, like when you're doing the mung, I had a lot of bloating. I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I doing this if I'm gaining weight? You know what? If you need to eat a lot of mung in the beginning because you're having some like severe attacks about not having your dark chocolate, like me, I just kept eating more mung. That's okay. Eat that fucking mung because it's gonna calm down. The weight's gonna go off. The bloating's going to go away. Your cravings will go down. You'll start to eat back to your normal. I noticed in the beginning I was eating a lot more because I was panicking a little bit. So yeah, just know that beast is there. You tame that, it's going to come down. What are you going to do about Aya? Rachel, I'll send you that. But I'm in surrender. I'm still joining everyone for the journey, but I will not be able to do Aya on my Le Luna. So you guys are watching this unfold in this pure surrender. I came all the way to Colombia. I arranged this whole thing. I have all these people here to do Aya with me, and now I cannot do the Aya because my Le Luna came 10 days early, which has never happened in the history of my life. I want you guys to this is God in the making. Yes. Yeah. Wow. Exactly, Rachel. I woke up this morning to my Le Luna and thought, wow, this is that perfect journey of surrender and practice right here and right now. And what can I be grateful for? Where's the medicine's already here? Aya's already playing with me right now. She's laughing. you think you have it in the bag, and it's a whole nother thing. And what I want to say to that, which I feel called, is your journey is now. You guys don't need to do Aya, like, right? You guys can have all these transformations on your own. And that was really clear with Aya this morning as in my meditation. Comes now. I love you guys. Thank you for staying on. You guys have got this cleanse. Reach out to your sisters. That's going to help you the most. Jackie, Reem, and Kaylee, who's already done it. Anybody else who's done it, but let's reach out to our sisters. Get your ingredients. Let's talk about it next Tuesday. I love you guys. Thank you, Reem, for blessing us again. Mwah! Bye, girls.